alcohol, a shadow, and coming home to ourselves. In the fast pace of modern life, it's easy to live on autopilot. We wake up, go through the motions, and do it all over again, driven by routines, roles, and old habits that help us cope. For many of us, one of those habits is alcohol, a glass of wine after work, a drink on the weekend. Sometimes it's celebration, but sometimes it's escape. We don't always talk about it, but over time, drinking can become more than a social activity. It becomes a way to disconnect. But what if beneath that habit, there's something deeper? What if alcohol isn't just a bad habit, but a signal, a symptom of something more meaningful, a disconnection from our deeper self? Dr. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In Jungian psychology, the self is the full expression of who we really are. Not just our conscious identity, not the parts we play, but also the parts of us we have buried, denied, or forgotten. Jung believed our deepest drive is not towards just pleasure. It's towards wholeness. He called this individuation, the process of becoming whole by integrating all parts of ourselves. Not just the parts that are easy to show, but the hidden ones, the ones we hide from ourselves as well. And the shadow is made up of everything we've pushed away: fears, desires, anger, shame, guilt, and sometimes alcohol helps to keep the shadow quiet. It darkens the shadow, because feeling those parts of ourselves, well, that can be overwhelming. But here's the paradox. What we try to avoid often contains exactly what we need to heal. Remember the words of the song? You can't always get what you want, but you might try sometimes and get what you need. So stepping back from alcohol is not about judgment, is not about rules, not about perfection. It's about creating space to reconnect, to feel again, to become alive again, to ask ourselves, what am I really feeling and what am I really avoiding? Who am I beneath all these roles that I play? These are not easy questions, but they are the essential ones, the ones we ask ourselves time and time again throughout our lives. Jung encouraged practices that helped us to meet the unconscious: dream work, the language of the soul, journaling, to explore thoughts that we've never said aloud, not even to our best friends, therapy, a mirror to what we yet can't see in ourselves, creative expression to give form to the formless. These are not about fixing anything broken. They're about becoming ourselves, becoming more of ourselves. And when we even start to do that, even just a little, we begin to soften the grip of avoidance. And we begin to reclaim the parts we have abandoned. We begin to return home. So maybe the question isn't, how do I stop drinking? Maybe the deeper question is, what am I truly longing for? Connection? Relief? Love? Meaning? Peace? Because when we stop numbing, we begin to feel. And when we feel, we begin to heal. When we feel, we begin to heal. This is not about judgment. It's about honesty. It's about curiosity. And it's about compassion for the version of you who has been coping the best way that you knew how. And it's about finding new ways forward, ways that honor all of you, even the very best parts that you sometimes were taught to hide. The privilege of a lifetime, said Carl Jung, is to become who you truly are. Wholeness is not a destination, it's a path. Every day, and every small step you take back to yourself is a step worth celebrating. Let's celebrate that step.